Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Katarina Barnes.
If you have Valentine's Day's plans, I hope you've already made your reservations. With scattered flurries, wind chill, and overcast, it's not going to be nice outside. I have your 5-day weather forecast. Today we'll hit a high of -3, but it will feel more like -7 with the wind chill. Tonight will be -8, but will feel like -13. The start of the reading week is a bit rough. Saturday, still cloudy, high of -6, low of -13. Sunday, scattered flurries, high of -10, low of -15. Family Day Monday, cloudy with a high of -6, low of -17. Tuesday should crawl up past the freezing mark to 0, with a low of -4. So the warm trend starting on Tuesday will continue throughout reading week, with the weekdays remaining above 0. So take heart if you're not jetting to warmer temperatures. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Katarina. Turning now to international and national news, Atlantic Canada won't be getting a break from the winter weather anytime soon. A storm carrying more snow, rain, and heavy wind is expected to hit the region this weekend. Forecasters say another 30 millimeters of rain could fall in Cape Breton today, while parts of New Brunswick can expect 10 to 25 centimeters of snow. And southwestern Newfoundland could be hit with up to 25 centimeters of snow before it changes to rain. Weather warnings remain in effect for all maritime provinces.
Lawyers for Patrick Brazeau will be in a Quebec court today. They will be defending the suspended senator who is facing charges of assault and sexual assault. The charges are in connection with an incident that happened more than a year ago at his home. They are unrelated to the former member of the Conservative Party's other legal troubles that led to his expulsion from the upper chamber.
2 people have been killed in a volcanic eruption in Indonesia today. An explosive eruption happened overnight at Mount Khulud, one of Indonesia's most populated islands, Java Island. More than 100,000 people were taken off the island, and 3 international airports were shut down. The country's disaster agency said ash and volcanic debris covered the land and that the eruption could be heard up to 200 kilometers away. Mount Khulud's last major eruption was in 1990 and killed more than 30 people.
Virginia's ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. That's according to a federal judge in the state. The judge says the law violates the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. Virginia is the first southern state to have its voter-approved ban overturned. The judge ordered a stay on the ban until it is appealed. This means that same-sex couples in the state still cannot marry until the case is resolved.
In Belgium, children under the age of 18 now have the right to die. Lawmakers in Belgium voted to amend its euthanasia law to include minors. Children with terminal illnesses now have the right to be put to death if their parents agree and if a psychiatrist certifies they are conscious of their decision. Before the vote, Belgium's law only allowed euthanasia for people 18 and over, with no exceptions for children.
The United Nations has temporarily suspended the evacuation of Syrian civilians in homes. A UN official says dozens of men aged 15 to 55 left a rebel-held medieval quarter known as Old Homs during a previous evacuation. The men are still being held and questioned by Syrian authorities. The UN official says they will focus on the process of completing the regularization of the men, and once that's done, they will look at another evacuation. Officials say the next evacuation will not be linked to the release of the detained men.
And joining us now for your sports update is Josh McConnell. So Josh, how did Patrick Chan do today?
He did fairly well, actually, though the curse of the Canadian men's figure skating still stands. Going into the event, Chan was sitting behind Japan in the standings. He kept that pace, taking the silver medal. Team Canada has never won a gold in this event at the Olympics, which is where that curse comes in. Also taking part in the competition was Canadian Kevin Reynolds, who finished 15th. Reynolds became popular last week when he skated for Chan in the team competition. He took first place in his event, which helped Canada take the silver. The men's hockey team slaughtered Austria today, 6-0. Unlike yesterday, Canada scored quickly in the first 2 periods. Jeff Carter found the back of the net 3 times in the second alone. Shea Weber, Drew Doughty, and Ryan Getzlav also scored during the game. Meanwhile, PK Subban and Matt Duchesne were in the lineup after sitting out yesterday. They took the places of Dan Ham-Hughes and Patrick Sharp. Also, Roberto Luongo was between the pipes this game instead of Carey Price, earning a shutout. In an unfortunate turn of events, Henrik Zetterberg is out of the Olympics because of back issues. The captain of Sweden's hockey team did play one game, but an old problem with a herniated disc has resurfaced. The International Ice Hockey Federation rules say that Zetterberg can no longer be replaced as the 12 teams were locked at the beginning of the tournament. Moving away from hockey, controversy is hovering over luge in Sochi. The Canadian team has raised concerns that Russian officials may have tampered with the track. It is alleged the track's temperature was turned down after the Russians raced, which creates frost and slows the track. The Canadians went second and missed the podium by only a tenth of a second. And good news, though, our men's curling team had a big win against Norway, taking it 10-4. Now, in other sports, there may not be any regular season NBA games, but it's still going to be a great weekend for b-ball fans. The All-Star Game is Sunday, and tomorrow is the big slam dunk competition. Toronto Raptors' Terrence Ross will be taking part in the dunk competition again. People are still talking about this monster dunk, where Ross absolutely owned Kenneth Faried of the Denver Nuggets in January. Wow. Ross obviously won the dunk competition last year, and this is just an example of his work. And that's it for sports. I could watch those dunks all day.
Thanks, Josh. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Charlotte and Cattell.
Love is in the air. We have your Valentine's Day movie preview, and JT is in Toronto tonight. Stay tuned for your entertainment update coming up after the break.